Hey, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining for another episode of Reflections with Dr. Gary Harvey. Glad you guys could join us. Going to give a moment for some people to come in and get started. Won't be too long. I know it's a different kind of night tonight than what we're normally used to, but I'm still hyped from the games this weekend. Of course, that bang bang Niner gang. 49ers doing their thing this weekend. Wasn't the best game, but we still pulled out the W. So definitely thrilled about that. Philly, that's gonna be a challenge, but I think we can do it. I think we can make it. So, but want to give everybody an opportunity to come on in. If you're coming in, go ahead, like, share, drop a note, say hello, let us know you're here, and we will get started here in just a quick second. All right. All right, all right, all right. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, I was glad they won too. I was. But definitely appreciate y'all coming in. Thank you so much. It's gonna be just a quick second here, and we will get started and get going. But again, want to appreciate you guys. So let's go ahead and get started tonight.
Ready, we ready, we ready for y'all. We ready, we ready, we ready for
All right, all right. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Joel, thank you very much for joining. Of course, of course, of course. You guys do me a favor, like, share, invite somebody in. Definitely help us out. It's not going to be too long tonight. You guys know me, like I said, when we first started this thing. Hey, sometimes it'll be 5 minutes, sometimes it might be an hour, sometimes it might be 15. But I don't believe in necessarily fitting or getting stuck in a box. So definitely want to just kind of let things flow. But if you saw the title, you got to run the route and you got to get in position, right? Run the route, get in position. I think a lot of times when we approach different things in life, sometimes we allow ourselves to kind of slip up to get concerned with various things that are happening in our life, and it kind of gets us off track, gets us out of position, if you would, right? So, like, you watch football, and pretty much any sport, right? Each individual player on the team has a particular position that they play. Now, it's kind of funny that Dallas did what they did last night, and they put Zeke at the center. You put a running back in the center when you needed a big play. So it was kind of strange there, but they had somebody that was out of their normal position, right? Now, oftentimes when we go through various things in our life, or we're progressing, we've got these plans with these goals, these aspirations that we are trying to accomplish, we put ourselves in situations and cause circumstances to ourselves because we get out of position, right? We got to know our role, we got to play our role. I've been having this conversation with a few different people in a few different ways, and under a few different scenarios, but you have to know your position, you have to know your role. And, like, let's say if you're a wide receiver, right, and you're trying to catch that pass, right, the ball's being thrown to you, you got to know the route. So you got to educate yourself on the route. You've got to be prepared. You've got to learn how to run the route, with no obstacles, with no adversity, with nothing trying to trip you up or anything to that effect. And then you've got to be able to run the route with obstacles, with an opponent, right? So there's some preparation that takes place. You've got to be able to really understand and really approach things in a manner that allows you to kind of be prepared for anything, right? So we go into life and we have these goals, we have these aspirations, and whatnot. And we're there we're there in a manner of like, we're supposed to be playing a wide receiver, but we're preparing as a running back, or we're preparing as a defensive lineman, or these types of things. Well, you can't prep for the wrong position. You can't prep. Um, you know, you can't prep for a role that you're not supposed to be in. It doesn't help you any, right? It's not going to help you progress at all. Scripture says that, Bible says that, he knows his thoughts, right? The thoughts and plans that he has for you, right? And those thoughts, those plans, those are essentially, that's the route, right? You got to run the route. Well, if you're not familiar with the process, if you're not familiar with the play calling, right, and the play gets called, you're not going to know what route to run. So there's a lot of preparation that takes place. We try to microwave things, and I apologize. We try to microwave things. We try to expedite things. I was just having this conversation with my son a little earlier because he's trying to make some things happen for him, and he's got some big plans. And he comes to a place where he's like, yeah, but it'll take this long if I do it this way, but this route sounds a lot quicker. Well, sometimes the quicker route isn't the best route, right? We've got to be able to, we've kind of talked, here and there throughout the podcast, especially recently, about trusting that process, right? We've got to come to the place where we can trust the process and trust that preparation. A lot of us don't train to show ourselves, study to show ourselves approved, right? We just want to jump in, we just want to operate, and specifically, like we talk about, well, within circles that I'm in, talk about the church, right? There's the church in America, and then there's the American church, two very, very different things. And the American church, unfortunately, has been fueled by gaslighting, by manipulation, by dogmatic tradition, by Christian nationalism, all these things that, ultimately, hey, we love you as long as you're doing what we want you to do. Well, that's not what the church is supposed to be, right? And so we have individuals, we have organizations, we have quote unquote leadership that are out of position. They're supposed to be running as a running back, but they are, operating as a defensive back, operating as a defensive lineman, operating as a right tackle, whatever the case may be, right? You've got to be able to be in position. You've got to be able to know your role and understand it. And here, let's say, for a lack of better words, God is your quarterback, right? He's trying to throw you that pass. He's trying to get you to get those yards after catch, right? To land, make the play, make the big play. But you've got to be able to be prepared, because if you're not prepared, you're not going to reach your destination. And if you do reach your destination, it's either going to be before or after the pass. Hello, somebody. See, we have to come to a place where we understand that timing oftentimes is established with the process, right? With that preparation. When you watch a wide receiver run that route, there's a specific timing between that receiver and the quarterback. The quarterback is expecting that receiver to be in a certain spot at a certain time. And so the receiver has got to then be able to overcome not only the normal circumstance and situations, but now the opponent that's blocking him, right? Life's going to throw multiple things at us. Life is going to throw various adversaries, and obstacles are going to come our way. There's going to be difficulties that show up. There's going to be frustrations that happen. There's going to be things that try to keep us off our game, right? You watch those receivers when they first come off the line, those defensive players, there's some hand exchange, there's some bumping going on. They're trying to get them off that timing, prevent them from running that route. That receiver has to have enough preparation and know the route well enough to be able to overcome those obstacles. So I'm going to ask you, like last week we talked about, who am I, who do I want to be, and what am I doing to get there, right? So in this instance, you're supposed to be that receiver. God's trying to launch this football and put it right in the numbers, put it in your hands, and give you an opportunity to make the big play. Now, That being said, have you prepared? Are you prepared for that blessing? Are you prepared for that thing you're praying for? See, a lot of times we pray for different things, whether it's a promotion, a financial breakthrough, our health, our something for our friends, family, whatever the case may be. We pray for these different things, but we're not prepared for these different things. See, you have to be able to sustain what it is that you're asking for. So if you can run the route, that's fantastic. Can you run the route with an obstacle or an adversary trying to get you off the timing? Can you make up for that? Can you compensate for the challenges that life's going to throw at you? Now, if you've prepared properly, you can make those adjustments. And you know what? You might be a little behind schedule, you might be a little ahead of schedule, but that's where the quarterback comes in, right? God's going to drop it into your hands. You just got to run the route and get open. You've got to overcome the obstacles that come your way. Listen, he knows the thoughts and the plans that he has for you, right? You were designed for a specific purpose. And when you begin to walk in that purpose, you begin to understand and you begin to operate in various different ways. My purpose isn't your purpose. I don't care how big your ministry is. I don't care how big your church is. I don't care how big or little your business is. I don't care how popular you might be. Listen, if God called you to do something, if you have a burning desire to start a business, to launch a project, to write a book, well, I can't do that because there's so many restaurants, there's so many this, there's so many, everybody can write a book now. Everybody can do this. Everybody can do that. You're right, everybody can, but is everybody doing it? That's the first thing. Number two, you ever walk down the bread aisle in the grocery store? How many different loaves of bread are there? How many loaves of bread, right? How many different brands? Multiple brands, right? But here we go. We're in a circumstance, we're in a situation where we are allowing ourselves to get caught up in another position. Here we are supposed to be learning our routes, being able to run, being able to compensate for that defensive player, get the break, make the cut, right? Juke, break some ankles and get open so God can drop that ball right into numbers and you can go ahead and you can make that big play. But you worried about how do I play as that right tackle? Man, that right tackle is getting all kinds of recognition. That defensive back's getting all kinds of recognition. And here I am. I'm just over here, the wide receiver, right? But they're paying attention to them. They're getting on the highlight reels. They're making big plays. They're making big stops. They're opening holes for the running back. And I'm still waiting on the pass. Well, you know what? You haven't been able to get open yet. So we can't throw you the ball because you're allowing life to trip you up. You're allowing your circumstances to cause your timing to be off. You're allowing yourself to focus on the problem more than the opportunity, more than the play. Right? Listen, when you're running these various plays, you got to just go ahead and you just got to make your moves, right? You just got to go ahead and you've got to deal with whatever comes your way. Now that's not easy, but the preparation makes the decision making easier. The preparation makes it easier for you to make those cuts and make those moves. See, I'm a big dude, right? I joke all the time that I don't do basketball. I'm good for a 5, maybe 10-yard burst. That's it. That's why I played line, when I played football. But I knew my role. I played my role. Exactly. Your position has purpose just as the next. That's right, D. And we get to a place where we have to overcome. He wants to drop the ball, right? He wants to put it on the numbers. He wants to throw you that pass, but you've got to get open. And our problem is we can't get open. And you're not going to get those things that you're praying for if you haven't done the preparation to sustain them. Right? If you haven't done the preparation to overcome that defensive end and get around and get outside those defensive backs and be able to catch the ball, get open enough for the pass to even come in your direction, it's not going to get thrown your way. You got to stop worrying about everybody else. You got to. I could care less. Listen, I put a post up the other day, and this used to be something that I'm gonna be a little transparent here, maybe a little more transparent than I should be. But it's frustrating knowing the different people that you've helped become successful. it's frustrating, at least for me. Maybe y'all better than me. You know what? And that's fine. Y'all might be, like I said, this is a transparent moment for me. It's frustrating. Know that you promote and push and support and share and like and invite and do all these different things to help other people in their businesses and their projects and their goals and their aspirations. And you push and push and push to try to help them overcome these various things and get out there and reach their dreams and get open, so to speak, right? You go ahead and they pull that guard and make the hole open so that running back can get through it. And the running back is the one that only gets focused on. Well, you got to understand, number one, you got to know your role. And right now, it might not be your time to hit the highlight reel, because what you did seems to be a normal function of your purpose. See, the other thing we've got to stop doing, and I've been guilty of this, we have to stop expecting to be recognized for operating in our basic function. Hello, somebody. See, I don't play my position for the purpose of recognition. I play my position for the benefit of the team. Did y'all hear me? I'm not out there trying to make a big play so I can get in the highlight reel. I'm out there trying to make a play for the team. I'm trying to make things happen for the team, for the fans that are watching, for the people that are supporting me. Because you know what? There's so many people that are supporting you. They you know what? If I can use this analogy, they might not be able to get the tickets on the 50-yard line. They might not be able to get the tickets in the press box. They might not be able to get down on the team and shake hands with the players or go back in the locker room and meet people. They might just have enough to be able to get in the nosebleed, but they spent their hard-earned money and took of their time to come and support you because they believe the team can deliver and they believe the team can be successful. So they're in your corner rooting and shooting for you. And those players, they may never, ever know these individuals. They may never know their name, never see their faces, nothing. They're absolutely nobodies as far as the team is concerned. But the team understands that without those without the fans, without those in the stands, then they're not going to be able to continue to operate and move the way that they need to move. So even though you might not be on the highlight reel, by somebody supporting the team, they've supported you individually. And it's a hard thing sometimes to accept because you expect reciprocation, right? You want it reciprocated the same way. And it's not always going to be reciprocated the same way because the fans aren't out there running drills. The fans aren't out there running the route. The fans don't have to worry about the timing. The fans don't have to worry about making that break and getting open, but they're supportive of you when you're there. Now, hopefully they're not fair weather fans, but we got those too. You know what? Take it in stride. I've learned that if once I shifted my focus and gave more attention and energy to those that are reciprocating. And when I say reciprocate, that doesn't mean they're doing the same thing I'm doing. Hear me now. It doesn't mean they're doing the same thing I'm doing. But when I say reciprocate, they're putting some type of tangible effort into myself, my endeavors, the things that I'm trying to do, my goals, my aspirations. Well, when I decided to shift my energy in that direction, right, I made that move, I made that break. All of a sudden, I got open for a play. I got open for that pass, and that ball landed in the numbers. So I might have got hit right away, right? Maybe I didn't hang on to the ball. Maybe it was an incomplete pass because I dropped it. I fumbled it because I wasn't as prepared as I needed to be. Well, now I know going into the next play, right? You've got to take those opportunities in stride. Let's talk about Purdy right now with San Francisco, right? He last pick of the draft, jersey says Mr. Irrelevant on the back of it when he gets picked, and here he is. He's got he's got about, if I'm not mistaken, the same amount of playoff wins as Dak Prescott, Tony Romo, and these are all within the last 2 weeks. So you have to come to a place where you understand your role in your position. It's okay if you're not on the highlight reel every time. It's okay if your jersey isn't the highest selling jersey on the team. It's okay if people aren't lining up for your autograph, because there's going to be somebody that's watching you. There's going to be somebody that's trying to emulate you. There's going to be somebody that when you do get out in the open, when you do overcome the adversary, when you get past that defensive end, when you're able to make that cut and get past that defensive back, and you're opening up for the quarterback to drop the ball into the numbers, and you make that catch, not only do you pick up the yards for the team, but then you can pick up some more yards for yourself. And in doing that and continuing to pursue and better yourself, you help the team as a whole. See, we've got to get past this mentality that unless everything's going my way, unless the refs are calling all the right calls, listen, it's not the refs, it's not people, it's not the devil all the time. Sometimes it's just you. Sometimes you didn't get open because you were paying attention to the defensive back instead of the route. You were paying attention to life's issues and circumstances instead of your purpose. Oftentimes, if you can stay focused on your purpose, you can run that route, you can get open, you can catch the pass and make the play. But you've got to be able to run the route. You've got to be able to get open. That comes with preparation. I can't say, I was telling somebody the other day, man in the mirror. That's right, D. We say that all the time. We say that all the time, man in the mirror. And I know, my boy Shamik, he and I talk, and we've had many conversations about things that, the American church and Christianity today, why it is so many people struggle with Christianity today is because of how it's presented, right? Because they want you to run the route, but they want you to only run it the way we tell you to run it. Well, unfortunately, on the field, you can't always do that. You got to make split-second decisions. There's something in the military we call situational awareness, and I mean it's other places as well. But my first encounter with it was, like I said, it was in the military, and situational awareness. And the gentlemen on the ground, the soldiers on the ground, they have a better understanding of the overall situation and circumstance and what's actually happening than the full-bird colonel that's signing orders. Right, there's a difference there. And so there's some freedom that's given to that leadership on the ground and those soldiers on the ground to be able to make the decisions that they need to make based on the situational awareness. We have to have that situational awareness as we begin to navigate this thing called life. Sometimes that route isn't going to be pristine. Sometimes you're going to have to make adjustments on the route. But if you know the route, if you've prepared yourself, you can make those adjustments and still arrive at the destination on time to be able to get open and catch the ball. And that's what we're trying to do here. Stop focusing on, I can't be a successful wide receiver if I'm running out there worried about did the left tackle do his job? Did the center do his job? Is the other receiver running the route they're supposed to run? I need to just do my job, do my role, my position, do what I can do, operate in my purpose, right? That's what I need to do. In operating in my purpose, it's going to help you operate in yours because it helps the team as a whole. Each player has a specific role. And so if each player fulfills the role, then it helps the team overall. Okay. Now, just like in sports, these different players, they can become an inspiration to the people that are watching. Right. And the people that are watching might not be engaged. They might not be real supportive of you. They might be as haters. Like, for whatever reason, we think if somebody disagrees with us, they're always a hater. But that's a whole nother conversation. But let's say they are just waiting for the opportunity for you to mess up, for you to make a mistake, for you to slip up, all those types of things. Then it is what it is. Still operate in your role, still operate in your position. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things that we've got to do. And if you can do that, if you can prepare yourself, if you can prepare yourself for the things you're praying for, you want to own a business, do the research, right? What's it take? What do you got to do? What things do I need to make happen? What are the legal things that I make happen? What are the financial things that I need to make happen? Write out a plan. Do you have that business plan? Do you have that? Like, a lot of us have these goals, but we don't have any process to get to the goals. There's no preparation. We think we're just going to walk out on the field, throw the pads on, and we're just going to run and make the big play. That's not how this works. You can operate every single day of the week and put in those hard hours, put in the work, train, practice, go to each game, leave everything out on the field, and you might not make that big play until the very end of the season. It might be the last play of the last game of the last, at the end of the season, and you go from being an absolute nobody to just boom, you're in your purpose, right? We've got to be okay with that. We've got to be okay with showing up, putting in the work, running the route, whether the ball's thrown to us or not. Did we run the route correctly? Did we get out in the open? Did we at least provide an opportunity? Right? And the timing is going to work. The timing is going to happen when it needs to happen. It's going to shift the way it needs to shift. You're going to make the impact you need to make when you need to make it. Okay? You got to hear me now. It's not always about the big play. It's about running the route and getting in position, knowing your role. If you're on the field, you're in the game. Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? I want y'all to hear this too. It's not just the individuals on the field. It's those on the sideline. It's the trainers. It's the back office staff. It's the coaches. Like there's so many people that go into a successful game and a successful team. And you're just one part of it. You're one position of it. You can't control everything else around you, but you can control, did you prepare? Did you run the route? Did you make the split second decisions? Did you get open so you could catch the pass? That you can control. I'm stoked. Like I said, this weekend, I'm thrilled that my Niners won. Of course, I'm definitely thrilled about that. I am also thrilled here in the near future. There is a women's tackle football league that is growing and making some news. And young women are putting on the pads and getting on the field and playing the game of football. And I'm really excited that we're going to have one of these individuals, hopefully more, but one of these individuals who plays wide receiver for the Florida Avengers, which is one of the teams, on a future episode upcoming. But it's awesome because these young women are out there doing things that when I was younger wasn't an option. And so it's pretty cool to watch them do that, watch them, grow, play the game, love the game, be passionate about their communities. And, we definitely want to throw some support that way. And definitely want to introduce you guys to that world and those individuals and those players that are truly making a difference. Because honestly, what a lot of people don't know is there's a lot that they have to do themselves as players in order to make the league continue to go. And so that's a level of dedication that a lot of people don't have, but they're playing their role. They're getting in, they're running the route, getting in position so they can make the play. And you can do the same thing in your life. You can just prepare yourself. Get prepared, do what you need to do. So when that ball comes your way, you're open, you're ready to receive it. A lot of times we want to make the big play. We want to catch the pass, but we're not open. We're not ready for the opportunity, so to speak. Right. We're not able, the quarterback can't throw us the ball because we didn't do what we needed to do to be where we needed to be. And then we want to blame life. We want to blame people. We want to blame exes. We want to blame the job. We want to blame this and that. And, and it's not. We just, we weren't able to overcome the obstacles. And you know what? That's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. Just continue to work, continue to prep, continue to put in that work so you can run that route, overcome that defensive back, and get out in the open so you can get that pass. Because the pass will come. You just got to get open. All right, so I want to encourage you tonight. Want to encourage you to go ahead, run the route, make the play. Run the route, get in position, and make the play. Thank y'all so very much. D, thank you for joining us. Stay encouraged, you too, brother. Jewel, again, thank you for joining. Mom, Black Silhouette, always appreciate all you guys, all the love, even those that didn't drop a note and let us know you're here. Thank you so much for tuning in, whether you watch it live or whether you watch it recorded. I want to encourage you, like, share, invite somebody to follow and follow the Facebook page, follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. We're definitely trying to grow this thing, trying to make an impact. But again, thank you all very, very much for tuning in tonight. And as always, I'll pray for you. You pray for me, and we'll catch you next time on Reflections.